Hey guys, Analog Man here, back for another deck profile, and as you can see from the title, this is my second place winning deck from FanimeCon's tournament. The tournament was actually held by, I believe, Legend Games or whatever. They did a fantastic job managing everything. Everything went super smoothly, was very fast with the pairings, and also calling time, which usually tournaments like this at like a convention, usually sometimes they might have issues, but everything went very smoothly. I actually, with this deck, I went undefeated. My first matchups, so all my matchups were really weird. The first one was, of course, a weird EX1 like classic collection Imperial Dramon deck because basically for the tournament, the new starter decks were not legal, but BT8 was legal. So basically, everybody had to kind of build weird jank versions of decks to basically play. Um, but it didn't really stop most people. We still did not have side decks or mulligans, but that didn't really matter because everybody was actually drawing pretty good with their decks, so it wasn't really needed, honestly. Um, my second matchup was actually against, I believe, a Armor Rush deck, which I did have some difficulty with, but the new tech in the deck actually did fix um, fix the deck to the point where it was fast enough to actually compete. And it was really insane because with the new tech, this deck can stand up to Armor Rush very competently, much better than my previous build, which had less of the tech card that I'm using now. Um, then my third matchup was also against Armor Rush, but the Armor Rush player did brick a bit, and I managed to just kind of go off with Scatter Mode really fast. Like almost every match, I was just drawing Scatter Mode. I'm honestly like surprised that even happened because scatter mode usually like never goes into my hand. Like I actually had a match where I just bricked into like four options and one Digimon, but I somehow like hard played it and still kind of played through that. So I wanted to show off this deck because I feel this deck is super powerful. The fact that people were saying this deck could not compete in BT8 and yet it's showing up everywhere now. As of this recording, one did top sixth place in Carta Magica. And then was it in the previous European one? There was also two Beelstar decks that actually topped as well. So really crazy just how powerful this deck is still, even though it got nerfed by having Eismon being sent to one. But anyway, enough talking about that. Let's actually get into the deck profile so you can see my new version. So first we're running 4 Demimeras, 4 for consistency, and of course the fact that on deletion, the Digimon that is above this basically gets to draw 1 off of this if it dies, which is really solid. Helps you search out your deck. Also discarding, of course, very powerful. Let's get into the rookies. We only run about 10, so we run the 4 Gabumons, of course, from BT2. This one's really solid. On deletion, you get to draw 2, discard 1, so really solid in combination with this. Then 3 Gabumons from the starter deck. This one I'm kind of iffy with because I honestly always miss his effect timing because I just never remember to trigger draw 1. I always remember the discard part, but I never remember the draw part. So I always go like, oh no, I discarded already. So I have to basically like draw and then discard. So it's just kind of weird. And then we're running 3 Gazimons because this guy actually came in super clutch because I managed to win a few games against like basically almost all the games Gazimon came into play really crucially because against Armor Rush you never want them to Hammer Spark. So with this, this actually stopped Hammer Spark in the security a few times, which was amazing. But anyway, yeah, that's all the rookies we run. As I said, we're only running 10. I've experimented with running 12 or more, and it just breaks the deck really bad, and you can potentially just go into only rookies, and you basically just can't win at that point because you don't have scatter mode. Um, Speaking of him, for the level 4s, we run, of course, the 4 scatter modes. This guy, God tier card. As long as you see this guy in your hand, you will win the match because you just hard play him or you evolve him and then he swings and you just draw. You just keep going basically. I had a match where basically on turn 2 I already had 6 7 cost options in trash like so fast. Then we run 2 Vilemons. Vilemon may not seem really crucial, but if they hit Nailbone Insecurity and this guy is in your trash, you can summon him back and then just defend with him, which is really nice. I'm running 2 Ogremons because Ogremon is one of the MVPs next to Scatter Mode because this guy, when you don't have Scatter Mode, you have Ogremon. And Ogremon gets you a Security +2 and a discard. And the fact that He's also a 5,000 dude. So in this meta, he can usually survive, especially if he's hitting into a rookie and maybe an option or a tamer. So this guy will get the security checks, like I would say about 80% of the time. So he's really good. Um, then, of course, for the last level 4, we're running 1 Ginkaku promote. I'm kind of thinking of putting this up to 2 because I don't see it often enough. But at the moment, I feel one is fine for now. But I think once later on in the meta, if things shift, I might end up putting an extra one. So yeah, for level 4s, we're only running 6, 7, 8. We're only running 9, but you do see these guys often enough. So you don't really have to worry about that. Anyway, let's actually get into. We don't actually have level 5s in this deck. We only have level 6s and some 7s. So let's actually show those off, of course. The level 6, of course, is the main power of your deck. Beelstarmon, still one of the most broken cards. The fact that she can reduce her cost down to 0 depending on the 7 cost options. Also the fact that she gets to replay them. And the fact is that you can evolve Zwart Defeat on top. So almost every single time I've played this like for like what, 1 or 2 costs. And then I go, okay, I wipe your board. Okay, and then you still have a Tamer and you're playing to hybrid me. Okay, Zwart Defeat, pop it. Or maybe they have a memory setter or maybe a Davis and Ken in the case of Armor Rush. You just pop that and they basically can't do anything the next turn. They can maybe swing once and that's it. So it's really powerful. But yeah, we only run the 4 Beelstars. We don't really need any other level 6s at this point because the deck is basically a rush deck to set up her. So yeah. And then of course, as I mentioned, we're running 2 Zwart Defeats. You don't need any more than 2. I experimented with 3, but the problem is that at 3, you can brick into these a lot. So just having 2, you will consistently see them and, occasionally insecurities. So really nice. Then let's get into the option cards, which are basically one of the main things of this deck. We're running 4 Fly Bullets because this thing kills anything level 6 or lower. Then we're running 3 Nail Bones because Nail Bone lets you grab back a level 4 and a level 3. Then we're running 4 Cocytus Breast because now with Armor Rush and Imperial swinging so much, having this insecurity can basically win you the game. Then 2 Happy Bullet Showers, which can basically kill their Pyodramons or Imperial Dramons if they're hitting into it. 1 Gewalt Swarmer to basically wipe the board when they're still kind of low. Then we're also running 3 Callings from the Darkness because this thing helps you recover your Scatter Modes and your Gobblemons a lot and potentially your Gazzies. And also the fact that it can kill the Scatter Mode and trigger all its effects basically. Really busted card. This is why I like having it at 3. I had it at 2 before and then 1 Darkness Claw, but I really did not like that. I'd rather just have this and just keep recovering my stuff so I don't have to go into my deck to mill more. Then we're running, for the last 2 options, we're running the new Memory Boost, Missed Memory Boost. This card is actually really gross because almost every single time I've actually played it, I've milled into 2 7 cost options and then drawn into Beelstar like consistently. It's honestly really busted, and plus the fact that it gives you 2 extra memory on your next turn, really powerful card, and I highly recommend trying it out. It's really good, and I can vouch for it at this point because it basically got me some games. And yeah, that's basically all the options we run. I believe we have about 14 option cards in total because we want to just see these 7 cost options as fast as possible, basically. And then, of course, these other option cards are really super crucial in the deck because they help you basically set up for the next turn and or just keep milling your deck to the point where Beelstar becomes a 0 cost. The rest are Tamers, and all the Tamers help out in a certain way. So first, the 2 analog boys are still really busted. You get to basically trash everything and then just grab a Digimon, and usually you want to grab like the Beelstar so you can just kind of start setting up. We're also running 2 mats. I've seen some decks running more of the mats, except it's the other version, the 4 cost one that's a memory setter. I did try that one out, but I feel that just giving them 3 memory sometimes really sucks. And I actually did win a few matches by just putting them to 1. So maybe in the future I could maybe put this up to 4, but at the same time, I see this consistently enough that I don't really have to worry about it. And then the last 2 Tamers we have is 2 Purple Ties, of course. This one, I honestly like it more because of the fact that it can just recover cards for you. I've actually basically had a turn where I basically swing Scatter Mode, have it die, draw, discard, and then I just play this and grab it back and just repeat the process 2 times. So it's really nice having this one. Honestly, I feel that this deck so far is pretty solid for my build. This is my own personal build, and it's not like mirroring any other versions. I honestly got this by looking at a lot of deck profiles in Japan and also some of the deck profiles that have topped so far and kind of distilled that information into basically what my build is at the moment. And it's just really solid because even without mulligans, I somehow won. So that's already a decent indication that this deck is solid, at least for now. And it only gets better, honestly, because for anybody that doesn't know, EX2 does have a new purple Digimon and a new purple Tamer that are really busted, specifically Dobermon. Dobermon basically becomes another scatter mode, which you can also actually replace one of your Ogremons with. So that way you have Ogremon and Dobermon, and they both basically do the same thing. So it's really busted. Then, of course, in BT9, we, of course, get X Antibody. So we can get a Gazimon X or a Goblimon X to help basically set up more plays and draw, basically. And, of course, we have the replacement for Zwart Defeat. I'm really sad to see him go in BT9, but Dexmon is way more busted than him in that at that point because there are less hybrid decks. For now, there are still hybrid decks that we have to deal with, so Zwart Defeat is still really powerful against them. Also, this deck is really powerful against Blue Hybrid as well, so really solid. Um, and yeah, just wanted to show you guys my my second place deck, and it's just yeah, I had a lot of fun at Fanime. Play some really good matches against people, and honestly, yeah, just wanted to show this deck off. You know, just let me know what you thought of it, honestly. This is, of course, as I mentioned, my personal build. So let me know what you thought of it, you know. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.